What's up, everyone? It's your boy, The Business. For The Business, Let's Be Real, episode 4. Super excited tonight to come at you guys with another show. It'll probably be one short and sweet. I'm not going to try to stretch it out too long. I know you guys are all busy with the holidays coming on and everything that was going on. And, I didn't want to truly interrupt anybody's time with their family to try to have them on the show. So I went ahead and grabbed my little buddy, my son, Gavin Gonzalez. Super excited to have him on. He's been excited to come on and just chat. He's got his own little show that he does called Gavinized on YouTube. If you ever get a chance, go check it out. Right now, he did some shoe reviews before, and he's going to move into a different direction for 2021. He's going to do a little bit of shoe reviews still, and then he's going to move on and do some sports stuff. He's going to talk about baseball and basketball and some of the drills he does and some of the training he does, and kind of go into subjects about that. So we'll talk about that as we go into the show. He and I are going to talk about the college football playoff. He's a huge college football fan. He loves to talk about that. He loves college basketball as well. So I'll have him on another date to chat about that, once we get closer to March Madness, and pick his brain about that as well, because he knows his sports. He does study. He's kind of funny. Love the kid. Proud that he's mine. But with that being said, The Business, Let's Be Real, episode 4 begins now. Welcome back, everyone. Tonight's special guest, Gavin Gonzalez from Gavinized. How you doing, buddy? How you feeling tonight?
Good.
That's good. That's good. Good to see you, man. I know you ain't far from me. I know you're just right upstairs from me, and I appreciate you taking the time out to, jump on here and chop it up with your pops and, just talk about everyday life. So,
I love you, so.
And I love you too, buddy. I know that you have a YouTube that you started about a year ago. You've done a few episodes of, some shoe reviews and stuff that you've done. I know that, you and I have chatted a lot about you taking it into a different direction with, doing some sports stuff, doing some basketball drills, some baseball drills, reviewing equipment, reviewing bats and balls and, gloves and all that kind of stuff, just to talk about, what it is that you're capable of, and kind of just go into a different direction. And I'm super excited for that part for you in 2021. And I guess, let's talk about some of the hobbies that you do, that you do now for just every day, like outside of school. What is it that you do in life?
So I like playing baseball and basketball. Those are my probably favorite hobbies. Then I like WWE.
Okay,
and
so you're a big wrestling fan. I get it. Who right now are some of your favorite wrestlers? Talk to me about some of the favorite wrestlers that you got right now.
I like all of them. My top few. I like Randy Orton and the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns.
Okay, all right. Those are both two good guys. I mean, good wrestlers, hard workers, and generational wrestlers that their families have been doing it for years. And that's kind of what you and I hope to do with this. This is kind of a generational tradition that, hopefully in the future that you can have and you can continue the format that I've laid out and by doing this, and I appreciate you coming on tonight. I know that we were talking earlier about possibly chatting it up a little bit about the college playoff that we have coming up.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. Real good.
I'm excited for it. I know you're excited. I know on the first of the year, you and I will be watching both games together, probably, cooking out, hanging out, doing.
No, you go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm a little biased with the Browns too.
With
I
the,
mean, not with the Browns, with Ohio State.
oh, of course, and we'll talk about that. And I know you will be. But the good thing is that you and I know what Clemson brings to the table. So it's going to be a good matchup. But
We
we'll
saw that
talk about
last
that.
year.
We'll talk about that one second. We'll dig in a little bit to about the Notre Dame Alabama game, because that's going to be the early game. Actually, they play at 5:00 on the first. And I just kind of want to see what you think about who you think is going to have the upper hand in that matchup, and then give me a prediction on a final score.
I mean, Alabama, I think they might have the upper hand because they been like they've won the ACC wait no SEC wait no is it yeah the SEC and I think that might be a harder division than what is Clemson and Notre Dame is in, but and plus it's Notre Dame's like first season in a like conference, so I mean it will be a close game because Florida like opened a hole in Alabama last week. I think so. I think it's gonna be a good game, but I think Alabama's gonna come. I think they're gonna win.
I mean, I think you're right. I think I was a little concerned for that Florida Alabama game, the way Florida got exposed against LSU. You and I were very kind of like surprised that LSU was able to take it to Florida like that, but then Florida came back the next week and followed it up and didn't, keep their heads down. They attacked Alabama, made that a great game, showed that Alabama's defense can be exposed, and can be beat. They can be beat. Like if you're able to slow Alabama's offense down, they can be beat. So
Yeah.
I think that Notre Dame's going to have to do that. They're going to have to use their rushing attack to slow the game down. And I kind of think that that's the same way that Ohio State's going to have to take that route against Clemson as well. But, the Alabama Notre Dame game, hopefully that it's a good game. Notre Dame can't get into a shootout with Alabama, and you know that because Alabama always finds a way to come out on top when they get into a shootout with teams. So if Notre Dame falls into that scenario where they're not able to slow Alabama down and keep them off the field, Notre Dame's in trouble for sure.
They are in really trouble if they can't slow them down. Because I mean, Notre Dame, no doubt, they're really good, but they can't go with a shootout against Alabama.
No. All right, give me a prediction. Predict what you think that final score of the first matchup in college football playoff is going to be.
46-40 maybe? 46-40?
Who wins?
Alabama. I mean, I hope Notre Dame wins, but I'm going with Alabama to win.
So you sound like you think that it's going to be a shootout and that Notre Dame is going to fall into that shootout range and Alabama's just going to outlast them. Yeah. Okay.
It's going to become a shootout, but Alabama.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put up some comments, and we'll talk about these real quick, and then we'll get back to the college football playoff. My boy Troy Lovis, what's up, Troy? Appreciate you, man. I've been checking out your shows, dog. Handling business, love it. Appreciate you, dude. Keep watching, man. Keep checking us out. Like I said, I didn't want to bother anybody tonight, but I'm gonna have a bunch of people from my past on. So excited to do that. Talk to them just about life from when we spent it, and then where it's taken you since then, and what you're doing today. So appreciate you, Troy, coming out. And yeah, keep following, man. Keep checking us out. I'm gonna keep trying to bring it with these shows, man. Appreciate you, dude. And then I got Justin Standen, who was on the first show. Keep it up, bud. Cool stuff. Getting the boy involved. Yeah, Justin, this kid was made for the camera. He's super cool, super funny, goofy little buddy, just like me. Loves the guy. He and I have been talking about this too for a long time. So happy that he was able to come on as well and get a chance to, get on. And like I said, talk about sports a little bit. And gonna chop it up with him later and kind of do a little Q&A. Make it fun for him. Talk about the holidays and sports kind of mixed up in one in that Q&A. So, appreciate you, Justin. I know you're a busy man still, even though the holidays are over. I'm sure you're still filling orders, man. So keep checking us out, bud. Appreciate you. All right, G. Well, let's talk about the next matchup of the night. You and I both have an eye on this one. It is Clemson in Florida, or Clemson and Ohio State. They're playing at the 8 o'clock hour. I can't believe I said Florida there. Yeah. Clemson and Ohio State, they're playing at the 8 o'clock hour in New Orleans, Louisiana. And just kind of, I know you're a huge Buckeye fan, and you in this game you're kind of thinking with your heart more than your head, and you just have to kind of, just tell me what it is that you got going on, and tell me what you think about the game.
Clemson looked really good, and Trevor Lawrence was really good, no doubt about that. I don't know, really. I don't know about that game. I hope Ohio State wins, but it's gonna be a close game.
Okay. You and I were chatting earlier about the fact that, when Clemson and Notre Dame played the first time, Clemson was down not only Trevor, but I think they were down quite a few players that night. And, Notre Dame was able to take advantage of that game, go into a shootout with them, and beat Clemson when Clemson wasn't fully prepared. I think that Ohio State kind of got exposed last week, and you and I chatted about this as well, about with Northwestern as far as their offense and defense went. But then come to, real situation with the whole COVID situation, they were actually down 22 players.
Yeah, 22. That's a lot.
That's a lot of players to be missing. So I think it's going to be another good game. Trevor's a huge factor in the game. How he's able to keep his cool and can keep it going, it's going to be difficult, though. He's not going to be able to just kind of cut through Ohio State.
Just crush Ohio State.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to cut through Ohio State's defense. They're going to be coming after him. And I think that it'll be a great game. I think that, when you and I talked earlier, we talked about how Justin didn't look that good in the Big Ten championship.
No, he didn't.
And I think he hurt his Heisman chances, and I don't know if he hurt his draft stock in any way, because of the fact that, what you're able to do in college is just a predecessor of what you're going to go on to in the pros. Because in the pros, you have so many weapons at every position, and you're able to kind of, never run out of kind of players to go after. But sometimes people fall victim to it. Luckily for Justin last week, you and I talked about Trey Sermon and him going off.
Yeah, he went off. Off.
He ended up breaking Eddie George's single game rushing record of 314. He ended up with 331 against Northwestern, which was huge, and I know you had. Go ahead.
In Northwestern, they usually only give up 90 yards per game, so that's like a few games that they gave up.
Yeah. They had never faced a rushing attack like that, and that kind of hurt them because Ohio State was able to slow the game down in that way. They were hurting early in the game when Justin was just kind of throwing the ball around and making mistakes. Yeah. They were able to slow the game down with the run. And, Master Teague wasn't breaking it off, but Trey Sermon was, which was huge, So super excited for that game. I know that, Ohio State's defense doesn't have Chase Young chasing them down anymore. And but they got some other big, you know what I'm saying, guys coming after him, you know. Garrett Haskell's coming, you know. These guys are going to be bringing the heat, and they're not going to fall short of what it is that, you know, Ohio State's known for. I think that there's a big rivalry brewing between these two now, Ohio State and Clemson, with what Clemson's coach said about Ohio State not really deserving to be in the playoff and not being shouldn't be there. But everybody knows that this is the matchup that they wanted to see from the playoff last season. So
Yeah, that was a little harsh last season.
yeah, that was a rough game for us to watch for sure. We saw the tides change there real quick. And that was the way it was. And you and I watched that game go away. And that proved to me, though, that Trevor is going to be a great pro quarterback. You know, he was able to come down from just getting thumped early in that game. He was getting totally thumped. Yeah. And was able to
a good team.
Yeah, he was able to settle down, and he ended up with a great finish. So
and if you would have thought about last year, Alabama was like ranked number 12. They weren't even in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, and that's the truth.
It was crazy.
Alabama was all over the place last year. So, and that was the first time, I mean, in so many years, you know, this playoff's only been going on since 2015. Yeah. And Clemson's been in it 4 of the 5 or 6 times. I mean, really 5 now of the 6 or 7 times that they've had it. So Clemson's always a great team. Yeah, so, you know, super excited for this game. I don't know if you want to go ahead and give a prediction on what you think the score is going to be, but I'll let you go ahead and give a prediction on
it. 35-32 Ohio State. I mean, no, 35-32 Ohio State.
Okay, I get you. That's a good score, you know, and I think that it's going to be a great game, and you and I will be watching it closely, you know, so go Buckeyes.
Oh, wait.
Ayo. We got another comment coming out from your mom. Your mom popped up. She said, "We love your videos, especially your guest tonight." Thanks, Mom. We appreciate you. Love you.
Love you, Mom.
Yeah, I hope you and Jira are watching. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. You know, with me and my buddy. Like I said, dude, totally appreciate you coming on, dude, because I know you know these games, you know. I know we're excited for NBA basketball to be back, you know, and college basketball to be playing. Like, so excited. I mean, I don't know if you want to make any comments about what you feel with either one, because I know we haven't watched too much college, but we watched a little bit of the pros, baby preseason and the start of the season so far. So,
yeah, I mean, I like the Lakers last season. They were good. They won LeBron won his 4th championship. The 4th championship. So I think, yeah, that was good. And then sadly they lost their first game of the season to the Clippers. So, but we'll see. We'll see though. We'll see.
Yeah, and they lost the first season last year to the Clippers. The first game of the season last year to the Clippers. So, you know, the first game doesn't mean much. Super excited for what the Lakers were able to do in the bubble. I don't think people realize how hard it is to go away from your family and everything you know, and kind of, you know, you're home cooking and sleeping in your bed and, you know, waking up and just, you know, hanging out with people until game time. Like, that's important to a lot of players, and they weren't able to do that. They were waking up and it was the boys, and it was the boys, and it was go to practice, and it was the boys, and go to eat, and it was the boys, and that gets to, you know, and makes you. It does. I mean, because you're around a lot of people that sometimes you're not liking those guys, and instead of just getting away from them for a little bit, and which I'm sure they were able to, you know, you just have to keep it going. So I think what the Lakers were able to do in the bubble was huge. I know some people out there were trying to put an asterisk on it and just kind of say, you know, they weren't going to call it a real championship. Those guys had played, 80% of the season, ain't it, Gavin, before we went into quarantine? And then they came back and they played, you know, speed round games. Yeah, speed round games. And then got
right. But
and then got right into the playoff and played a full playoff, and there was teams out there that
That
really
could have
had.
beaten them, like the Bucks. Like the Bucks could have beat them, but Miami knocked them off.
Yeah, the Bucks would have been good. I think the Clippers would have had a good chance, but the Clippers fell short against Denver. You know what I mean? Like they were up 3-1 on Denver and fell off the table and let Denver come back. And I knew Denver by then was spent. Denver had come back in the series before, I think against Toronto. Or no. Toronto's not in the West. But who'd they play? Who'd they play in the first round? Oh, Utah or something like that. I think they played what's his name? Spider Mitchell in the first round, had to come back from a 3-1 deficit to win the next 3 games. Then we're down 3-1 to the Clippers and came back to win 3. So I knew Denver was tired by then. They were spent. They didn't have three, rabbits in their hat kind of thing. Like that's difficult to do. You can't just come back on 3 of the greatest teams in all of NBA and I don't know. It was tough. Loved watching, like I said, what LeBron was able to do. Loved watching what Jimmy Butler was able to do with Miami.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler would. And did you see him? You showed me this video. Him after I think like a game, him walking off. He looked so sore. It looked like his body was about to just collapse almost.
He was spent. He was spent in the championship. You remember that? He was leaning on the table with his head down, just leaning after playing the fourth quarter, but had made the bucket and got the foul. And I mean, Jimmy worked his butt off. Those boys did good too. I like what Miami brought to the table. Knocked off some big teams. Was able to make it to the championship, and it was fun. I mean, you and I watched it all, So,
want to move into a little bit of college basketball? Talk about college basketball?
Yeah, we could talk a little bit about it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the season.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, I've paid attention to a little bit of the season. You and I've seen a lot of upsets going on. We've seen Duke get knocked off a couple times.
Wait, who did Kentucky lose to?
Kentucky hasn't played well. They lost to Richmond one day, like the Richmond Spiders or something like that. Kentucky lost to, and Gavin and I were like, wow, this season's crazy already. Today, watched was it today that we saw the Northwestern and Ohio State game, and Northwestern was able to beat them, and Northwestern had just beat Michigan State earlier, a couple of days ago, and Michigan State was ranked number 4 in the country. So it's like, I don't know, college basketball is crazy because rankings sometimes don't mean nothing as much until you get into the bracket, and then once the bracket unfolds, it's a whole new ball game because you can have them Cinderellas, you can have those teams that people weren't expecting to come out and light it up. So, I love college basketball. I know you do too. We're both big, huge Duke fans, but we cheer for Ohio State the same way. Hence the reason why hence the reason why you're rocking a cool Buckeyes jersey, gifted by the Godfather. So college basketball is always going to be fun to watch, especially like I said around tournament time. But I can watch college basketball any day of the week, all day long. I mean, most of the games are super fun. The kids are still playing for the love of it, the same way the college football players play. And it's great. I love it.
Yeah.
So, all right, buddy. Well, let's get on. Let's get off of the sports chat, and let's get into some Q&A. I'm gonna pull up a version of kind of what it is that my buddy TJ does on his show. They do a bit called "What Would You Rather" bit on his show, and on that show he has they have a bunch of random questions, and it's the old game that you used to play with friends called Would You Rather. And I'm gonna kind of do that with Gavin now. And it's gonna be a mix of holiday and sports questions. And we'll do a mix of the both and just see what he has to say. So I'm gonna start with the first question for you, buddy, and it's a would you rather. It was would you rather, let's see, would you rather win the World Series or win the NBA championship?
NBA championship, I think. I think the NBA championship.
Yeah. Why you say that?
I don't know, really. I think I think I'm better at basketball than baseball, but I play baseball more.
Yeah. I mean, you play a lot of basketball and a lot of baseball, you know. So it's super, you know, super fun to play both. I think that, you know, you can win a championship in either. You just got to put your mind to it.
Yeah, you
But
can do anything.
NBA championship would be super cool. I don't know, you know, maybe what's a dream team that you would like to play for, or maybe play with somebody in the future?
Like with somebody.
I mean, I got somebody in my mind, but it may be different from somebody who's in yours.
Yeah, I know. Is it Bronny? I think Bronny's in your mind.
Yeah,
I knew it.
I love to see you play with Brady. Because
Yeah.
I know you can ball and he can ball. And you know what I'm saying? And what the future holds for so many of the future ball players of the world. Like, it's going to be so fun to watch. Super excited to see where your career goes in life. And you know, and I'll be there hopefully throughout it all, man. Right by your side. Okay. Let's see. Holiday question. Would you rather? Okay. Would you rather be one of Santa's reindeers or be one of Santa's elves?
Reindeers can't talk, so I'd be an elf.
Yeah. I mean, elves would be cool. Reindeers
I
would be
mean,
cool.
I have
Whatever.
something in common with reindeers. I fought.
Oh, yeah. I think we all do that, though. You know, I think being an elf would be cool because you get to make toys all year long and play with toys all year long. Like, that would be super cool. Our boy HTX, what's up, business? I appreciate you, HTX, man. Thanks for coming on, dude. I'm gonna go check you out soon. I gotta get with you because I know you got your own thing going on too, man. And you guys do a roundtable, and you know, totally want to come on there sometime and sit at that roundtable because I'm gonna have some roundtables here myself, chatting it up about different subjects. So you know, HTX, appreciate you, bro. All right, G. Let's see what else we got. Let's pull another question out for you. Let's see. Oh, this one we asked. I was talking with you about earlier. Would you rather have a long, average playing career or have a short, fantastic career cut short by injury?
Long average career. Because if you have a long average career, you can like work your way up to winning more championships and playing with other people and like all that.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And you know, um I think that it's good that you know you can stretch out a career and this is like a hypothetical choice kind of thing. You know, if you're able to stretch out a career and get on some good teams and win some championships, it's great. I've seen a lot of guys have short, fast careers go down in a blaze of glory. One of my most favorite athletes of all time, Bo Jackson, was great. Was a multi-sport athlete, was phenomenal at both sports, but had a short career in both professions. And you know, he'll go down in history as probably one of the greatest athletes of all time, but with nothing professionally to show for it. He does have the Heisman. He does have some, you know, collegiate records, and some urban legends in the professional sports, but no real long standing stats that can stand the test of time. So
Talking
definitely.
about you go.
Go ahead.
Talking about athletes, we should talk. Can we talk about some of Zion?
Yeah, we can talk about Zion. I mean, Zion, and you and I talked about this when Zion was at Duke, because we watched Zion at Duke that whole season, like every single game. Luckily for us, was broadcast on TV pretty much, and you and I watched every single Duke game that year because we wanted to watch Zion. We wanted to see what the hype was all about, because when you and I talked, I had never seen hype on anyone as much as I had seen hype on LeBron, as much as this kid Zion when Zion was coming up. Even the ball boy today, like Melo, that finally just came out, he had a lot of hype behind him, but his hype fizzled as he started to move from here to there. Instead of just staying in school and doing what he was supposed to, I think that hurt Ball. And you and I watched a lot of Zion in college. Were kind of like shook when he hurt himself.
Yeah.
Weren't sure if he was going to be able to transition to a pro or be like a Bo Jackson, like what you and I were talking about. And that probably what stemmed you on the Bo Jackson thing was the fact, or on the Zion thing was the fact that when you and I were watching him back then, I was like, he's like an athlete, like a Bo Jackson. You know what I mean? Like he's big, he's powerful, and he's like, in college, he was a man amongst boys. And what's crazy is that now you and I've seen him transition into a professional.
And those guys are men.
And those guys are men. And he's still able to do those things that he was doing in college because he's gotten bigger and he's gotten stronger and has evolved himself into being a player for the pros as well. And I mean, it's super fun to watch,
Yeah.
I got your Gigi got on. Okay. Love your guest. Love my Gavin. Gigi, appreciate you. Thanks for jumping in, checking us out tonight. Yeah, I got the little buddy on. Like I said earlier, I didn't want to bother anyone else's family, so I bothered my own. Love this guy. Thought that it would be fun for him to come on and chat it up and kind of talk about his life and what he does and the sports thing, because he and I love this and we chat all the time about this. It's on and off the camera all day long. Me and this guy are going at it about stats with sports and stats with wrestling, and we talk about stuff all day long. So it's good to get him on and have him on here, and super excited that we were able to do this. So thank you, Gigi, for coming on and commenting. We appreciate you. Love you.
Love you.
So, let's get back to the questions, the would you rathers. Let's see what else is next. Let's take it back to the holiday theme.
What?
This is a funny question for you. Would you rather have a snowy Christmas or a hot Christmas with no snow at all?
I mean, I've been in a hot Christmas and no snow at all for my last 9 years. So, yeah, I would rather have a snowy Christmas.
Okay. And that's cool. And like I said, I mean, I understand that because of the fact that, you have grown up in this Florida weather and not had to, figure out what it's like to deal in the snow. And snow is difficult sometimes, I always talk about it like I enjoyed it too as a kid growing up. I loved living in Ohio. And
you always talk about like it's terrible.
Yeah, and loved it when it was snowing and when I was young. And then when I got older and I had to drive in it and I just knew how much of a pain it was, I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I loved snow as much as I did. But I tell you what, my boy HTX is like saying no snow here in Texas, Slavala. I know, that's what I'm saying. HTX, like for real, like I grew up in a home, but I went my way to Florida, back and forth for quite a few years, and then been back here now for about 17, and I'm happy I am. I mean, and totally don't like driving in the snow, and that's the biggest complaint I have about the snow at all. So you rather have one, huh? You rather have your time in the snow for at least one, right? You want to see it?
At least one.
Okay.
At least one. I've never seen it either. So.
All right, here's a good sports question for you. Back to sports. Okay, would you rather own the record for the most points scored or the most championships?
Most championships.
Okay.
Because um I don't really know. I just want to break that record kind of for the most championships.
Yeah. No, it's a big record, man. I mean, you got to think there's guys out there, especially professional. Um, it can be you know what I mean, it depends on what sport you're looking to go into. Football, who always have the most points in football, and it's ironic to say, are field goal kickers.
Yeah,
Isn't
always.
that funny? Yeah, like isn't that funny that you and I always talk about that, and we're like, field goal kickers always have so many points because they can get on the field and score 3-3-3-3-3-3-3, 1-1-1-1-1-1-1. And before you know it, they leave a game with 10, 11 points themselves. You know what I mean? You're like, wow. And they're able to do that over a long career because kickers usually don't get injured too bad, So
I mean, unless they do something stupid, probably.
yeah, for sure. And that's what I mean. Like, and then you have those guys like Tom Brady who's gonna have 6 rings, who, is pushing for 7, but I don't know if he's gonna get to 7, but he's pushing for it. You know what I mean? And then there's the NBA who, points and I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is actually the points leader of all time, and there's people like LeBron that's trying to push to get to that point.
Where is LeBron right now? You don't know?
He's 3rd, I think, right now.
Yeah.
He's 3rd. I think the last person he passed was Kobe, and and that was when Kobe passed. Like the next day was right after LeBron had beaten his scoring. Like he was at number 3, and I think LeBron surpassed him the next day. Kobe passed. So it was that was totally. And I swear that 2020 has gone downhill ever since that day, like of Kobe passing. Like that was such a weird day. And
Random day, really.
Yeah. It was like surreal. Do you remember that? Like that whole week you and I were, and just all of us were like, what?
Yeah, remember like I came in and like I told you, you were like, what? Like what did you just say? Kobe just died? Like who? And you came inside, you like he really did just die.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
No. It was sad.
Yeah.
And like you told me, it wasn't his last chapter. It was his next chapter.
Yeah, and it truly was. I mean, Kobe was huge. What he was trying to do and where he was going, and just, I mean, like you and I talked about with his daughter's team and Mamba basketball and where they were going, and then he was writing and doing all kinds of stuff. Had won an Academy Award for his short film, his little movie that he had made, and that was huge, man. Like it was the next chapter for Kobe. It wasn't the final chapter. It was the next chapter, for sure. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that scoring, is big, and championships are big. I mean, you and I talk about Bill Russell and what Russell was able to do back then, and it was crazy. I mean, to win the most championships in any of the sports. Baseball, I don't know who exactly has the most titles or the most hits. You know what I'm saying? I know there's some top guys up there. So, let me see. I got a little comment. Yeah, I'm like, I got a comment here from HTX.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, he's like, well, in basketball, at least you got Wilton and Kobe for most points in a single game, which is true. Professional, which is true, because Wilt has the 100 and Kobe has 81. Man, that was huge.
100? Whoa, 100. That's a lot.
Yeah. HTX also commented about the situation. He was like, it was tough for me as a father knowing that Gigi was in the helicopter with him. And I'll tell you what, HTX, it was real tough for me too as well, knowing that his daughter was there. I also have a daughter named Gianna. And it was super tough, dude. Like, and that's, really kind of what hit hard for us that day, knowing that Kobe was a young father, same age as me, had a young daughter named Gianna. You know what I mean? That she's not the same age as me.
I have 2 other daughters and a wife.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know what I mean, what he left behind and what went with him. That's tough, man. Super tough.
You should this. You
Shout
should have
out
saw,
to
and you should have
Good.
saw the next day they had. I was watching this like I was watching ESPN, and they showed Shaq like crying, and it's surprised to see that big fella cry.
Yeah, that was crazy. And like I said, that turned 2020 on its ear, and then you know,
And then he
and
was like, "Pew." It
it
was
was,
like rising, and then Kobe. Pew.
and then, and I don't want to say it was just a Kobe situation. There was a lot of things I'm sure that were happening in other people's lives, but it seemed like that started, you know, a lot of
Kobe.
downfall. So, all right, buddy. Well, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let me see. Let's go to another holiday question for you. You've been doing good on the holiday questions.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a funny one. All right. Would you rather have a red nose that lights up or have pointy elf ears?
Um. Let's see. That's hilarious. That's a hilarious question. I would like to have a red nose because that would be funny. To have a red nose.
That would be funny. We would crack up at that. We're like, yeah, man, here comes Gavin. He's lighting up the hallway, lighting up the stairs. We know he's coming. It's Gavin. Cool. Yeah. I mean, pointy elf ears, I don't think would be too bad. You know, we grow your
Yeah,
hair
because
out.
it's just like
We grow your hair out long, and you would never. Your hair is probably long enough now to cover some pointy elf ears if you had it. So, you know, bright red nose, pointy elf ears. Decision's yours.
I think it would just be hilarious to have a big red nose
That's true. That is funny.
walking around. Hey, it's Rudolph the Gavin reindeer.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. All right, let's get into one more. Would you rather? And let me ask this to you, which is, I think, going to be a key question for you. And you and I, you know what I mean? We've talked about this 1,000 times, and I kind of just want to see what you got to say. Would you rather take the game-winning shot or give the assist to a teammate?
Well, that's a tough one. Might take me a minute to figure that out. I mean, taking a shot, like it would be more comfortable because it would be on you than you passing it to someone else and them taking the shot.
Yeah.
But it really matters, like if you're open or not. But I would take the shot. I would take it if I'm open and I have like room. But I would take the shot.
Okay. That's cool, man. You know, I think that it's important to have that.
And like what I always see this at my school. They always put up like banners and all that at my school. And one banner says, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." And isn't that from Michael Jordan?
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Because you do miss 100% of the shots you never take, you know? And so why not take the shot? You miss it, that's okay. There'll be many more. Okay, buddy? Believe that.
Yeah.
Believe that.
LeBron James and Michael Jordan, they missed probably millions of shots, but
They
they've
probably,
made thousands too.
yeah. And they made some of the ones that counted, you know? So definitely, dude. Got another shout out from Miss Marjorie. Hi guys. Hey Miss Marjorie,
Hello.
how are you? Hope you're doing well. Gotta come check you out. Gotta come eat where you're at now. I know that the breakfast spot is the place to be. So I'm gonna come check it out soon. Appreciate you getting on, shooting a comment at us. Well, all right, buddy. Well, you know, I don't want to hold you up too long. I know you've been on here for a while with me. Done about 45 minutes exactly, dude. So I appreciate you, man. I don't know if there's anything else you want to chat about. If you want to give yourself a little shout out. Tell people where they can find you on Gavinized, and I'm gonna put you solo screen, let you talk about a little bit about Gavinized, and then bring it back to me, and we'll chat about that. All right, bud?
So, okay. So, Gavinize, you can it's on YouTube, and is there anywhere else you can find me, Dad?
No, YouTube's where it's at, and just tell them how to spell it, and man, tell them to hit you up, and subscribe, comment.
It's Gavinize, but it's with a 7, so it's GA7INIZEZ. ED.
No, for sure. I'm super excited to have you on, buddy. I appreciate you for doing this. Hope you had a good Christmas. I know you've been a good boy all year. You're a good fella. And I appreciate you coming on and doing this with me, because I know you don't have to do this. Most kids would be too scared. Yeah, I'm like, most kids would be too scared to come on and do a show with their pops, So I appreciate you doing that.
I love you, like I said in the beginning.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I love you too, dude. So I'm going to kick you off now. Have you come downstairs, get your mama, get your sister, come in. I'm going to do my final quote and kind of wrap it up for the day. And, do it the way we do. All right. Have fun for the rest of the night, buddy.
Till next time, you've been Gavinized.
Love you, buddy.
Love you.
That was my boy, Gavin on Gavinized. Super appreciate the kid. I had so much fun being able to have him on the show tonight, to have him chat a little bit about himself, kind of give you his insight into what he thinks is going to go on in the college football playoff. Talk a little bit about the NBA, talk a little bit about college with them. We're going to have some more to chat about, though. Me and him have some good conversations. Really love that guy a lot. And just, super happy to do so. So, with that being said, I'm going to give you guys my my final quote of the day and give my final shout out, okay? My final quote is, keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. It's the only thing you can do is keep reaching for the stars. Keep trying to get that next day. Keep trying to enjoy yourself, So that's all we can do. And from the business and the Gonzalez clan, we say, Happy New Year. The business, episode 4. Let's be real. Over, out.